All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Some Random Guy Speaking. I am your host, Tony G, and we're about to get started. Yep, so I'm doing another live here, and what are we? So we're going to talk about alien encounters. Are they real? So we're going to go over it. I said I was going to get into this, switch up the tempo a little bit, bit on the politics a lot. Nothing wrong with that. But we're going to talk about it today. So those that are coming on board or whatever, I appreciate you. I really do. And things. Yeah. So what are we going to talk about? Well, we're going to talk about those aliens and things like that. But I'm gonna wait for some people to come into the room and things. So I'm over here in on the west side, the west part of Detroit. Well, I'm not even in Detroit. I'm in another whole city, But at any event, I'm just over here right now, just kind of taking a break. And I said, I'm gonna go ahead and contact, or actually talk to you guys doing the live today. Hope everybody's having a great day to day, as we starting to go further on in the evening. Right now, it's still in the afternoon, and it's not even 2 a.m. yet, or 2 p.m. yet. But they're supposed to be. We're going to get a snowstorm at about 5 or 6 p.m. So we're going to be about was about 2 to 3 inches. So So in the meantime, I'm just over here right now. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Yep. Yeah. So right now I'm just in my car right now, taking a break. Been out here working and things. So working it and things like that. So yeah. So so other than that though, yeah, we're gonna have to get into this alien encounter, and I want Sherry and John to talk about their alien encounters, from the UFOs, the orbs, and all the rest of this stuff. We're going to talk about it. If there anybody else that have experienced any type of alien abduction, being probed, being monitored, do you know any neighbors that have been acting really weird, in this channel, we talk about kooks, spooks, and saucers, you know what I'm saying? So, if you're a kook, are you into like UFOs, do you enjoy talking about it? I do. Uh, what about aliens? Do you like talking about them as well? The Greys is what they call them. The little 4 feet, 4 foot tall aliens with the big black eyes, staring in your face at night. We're gonna talk about it. I wish it was later on at night because I think that would set the theme really, really well. Have they been looking in your window? Have you noticed any type of strange behavior? Have your animals been acting kind of funny when they show up? Any type of green, misty lights, flying overhead of your house? We're going to talk about it. They love farmland too, I don't know why they love the open. They love it out there, and they love those animals too. I have seen, or not seen, but I have heard stories of livestock and all their internal organs have been removed. We're talking about malicious damage to those cows. Somebody had to pay for it. We're talking thousands of dollars of livestock. Poor cows, you know what I'm saying? Man. But yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're going to definitely talk about it today. And I'm just waiting for some other people to come on in and before we get started. But I want to hear from you. I want to hear about your alien encounter. Have you been abducted? Have you been violated, lost of time, right? Have you been revisited by these strange beings from another world? We're going to talk about it, right? Have they shared with you, have they contacted you telepathically, mind to mind, telling you do not be afraid? They always say don't be afraid, right? That's the first thing you're gonna be is afraid when you can't move, right? You ever had that feeling when you just could not move? I have. I have had that, I have had the feeling where I could not move. You know what I mean? So that's how they get you, you can't move. You can't, there's like no sound or nothing. It's the weirdest experience ever. And I'll share some of my experiences as well, too. But I want to hear from you guys first. I want to hear from you guys in regards to have you have had a strange encounter? you know. Have you. Don't be afraid, because, what I'm saying, you are amongst friends here. We're going to be talking about the aliens, flying saucers, close encounter, and not of the third kind either. We're talking about the fourth, fifth, and the sixth kind. We're talking the stranger the better. We're going to be talking about it. I want to hear your strange stories. Do people consider you a kook? Do they consider you a spook? We're gonna find out though. Spooks, kooks, and saucers. That's what we're gonna. Boy, can you imagine having a podcast channel called Spooks, Kooks, and Saucers? You know, it may already have one already, I believe. So you may not be a kook or whatever, but you still can share your story. Do you have someone ever shared with you a story about someone else that have been abducted, that have been brought aboard the spacecraft, right? Have you guys ever had any of those stories? Have you been visited by the men in black? you know, that's another one. So the men in black. Oh man, So that's the thing. We're gonna talk about it. Sherry and John, I want you guys to be my very, very special sharing your stories again when it come down to the flying saucers, alien abductions, encounters, orbs, strange lights, lost of time, and things like that. What else? Being revisited. Have the animals been acting strange? Have your livestock been acting strange? We're gonna go there. Have your doggy and all the rest of them, have they been acting a little strange and weird? Connected to chat. Okay, there we go. Let me just type something here. Hello. All right. Hello, Detroit. You warm my heart. There we go. Yeah, all right. There we go. So I just went on to type that in there. Yep, you're all welcome though. We are going to get into it. So if you are a kook or a spook, or if you like saucers, this is the channel for you. Have any of your, are you considered to be a weirdo? Talking about flying saucers and aliens, this channel is for you. Have you been abducted? You know, have you been assaulted by these aliens? This channel is for you. Have you been probed? You know, no, we're not talking about when you go bend over to get to check your prostate for you men. But I'm talking about, have you been probed by the alien? That type of probe. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about it. I dare to go there today. What type of strange beings or orbs, flying saucers that have visited you? Because the only people that seem to get in on this are country folk people that own farmlands and stuff. They seen all kind of weird stuff. They got beautiful views of the Milky Way and things. The stars are so close. It almost look a little frightening though, but I think it's cool though. So we're gonna talk about it. Have those animals been experienced? Have they been acting a little rattled? Because they always know. Have you guys, had the flying saucer right over above your home, right above your house? We're gonna talk about it. I would like to know. I'll be asking a series of questions. I would like to know. So, waiting on the other people to come in, because I think this would be something changing the pace. I know everybody don't like talking about the UFOs, but I'll say this: aliens and UFO encounters, right? They have been more popular these days, So whether if it's a spectacular or some type of mystery, it's open for debate for decades, right? Reports of unidentified flying objects, you know, such as alien sightings, date back centuries, which it has been. Even in the Bible, they have talked about this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but in modern interest, right? Well, if we're talking, let's say, in the mid 20th century, especially after incidents like, you guys know what I'm about to say, Roswell, 1947. There was a crash, right? Right? And then let's say after that, well, let's talk about the crash of Roswell. That is the most famous one, right? And there was an alien. The other ones died. I think it was like four of them on that saucer. Three of them died. Two survived. I mean, one survived. I'm sorry. The one that they had in captivity, I can't think of his name right now, but he was taken to an unmarked location in Area 51, and he was communicating with them telepathically, and he was telling them where he was from and how they have always visited here. They said this particular time what caused the crash. He said that our our radar interfered with their navigational system, which threw the saucer out of whack, which caused the crash. This is what the aliens have told, people in our special department there at Area 51. So, so that was really like the first encounter that we really had was 1947 that I'm aware of. I don't know anything before that, but I know everybody know about the famous 1961 Betty and Barney Hill abduction cases, right? Everybody have heard of that. They were an interracial couple. What's it? Barney, he was a black guy, and then you got Betty, she was white, and things, and they had a case where they were abducted, and they were put aboard the spaceship, and they were probed and monitored and studied, like lab rats. You know what I'm saying? Man, that got to be an experience though. So they talked about it, and I know Barney passed away. Betty lived. I forgot how old she lived to about, but yeah, she was always in the UFO, being watched and things like that. But let's go ahead and talk about it though. We're gonna talk about some key points in regards to the UFO sightings, right? So, what is a UFO? It's usually referred to an aerial phenomenon, right? That cannot immediately be identified. In most of these cases, these turn out to be what we call a natural phenomenon or a military aircraft, man made objects, but some small percent remain unexplained, right? That's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the unexplained ones right now, right? So we're not going to mix up a drone to a unidentified flying object because when it's unknown, their light patterns are different. We know in the aerial world, aviation, every every airplane, right? They have special lights. Usually you'll see red and green. They're there for a reason. That's by the FAA, right? You know what I'm saying? The Federal Aviation Administration, right? At some point of time, if you're going to be a drone pilot, like professionally, or if you're going to get into aviation, you're going to have to take the tests. And you're going to have to know about